Hello and welcome to our Salesforce Live What is Customer 360 from Salesforce session. Thank you so much all for joining us today. We know these are challenging times. You guys are very busy running your business. So we really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. My name is Maria Armshaw. I'm a product marketing director here at Salesforce, and I manage Service Cloud here in the Meer region, and I will be your host for the session today. But quickly before we start, the usual Salesforce forward-looking statement to just remind you to make any purchasing decisions based on currently available products and services. So we've got a great agenda for you today. After this session, you should hopefully have a really good overview of what Customer 360 from Salesforce is, particularly for those of you in the audience who are not so familiar with Salesforce before. And in a true Salesforce style, we will be bringing this to life for you through customer examples and customer stories. And to help me do that, we've got a couple of experts here with me today. We've got Lars Klumpes, who's the Sales and Marketing Director at NextView, who's one of our partners. And we have Chet Chowan, who is VP Product Management here at Salesforce. And the guys will introduce themselves in a minute. But first of all, let's set the scene a little bit and tell you what this session is all about. So, of course, we are now in the midst of a digital revolution and have been for some time now, last couple of years, really. So, of course, we've seen the emergence of e-commerce, new digital channels are really prevalent. We all use them in our everyday lives now. And with COVID-19 crisis, this has only really accelerated. And we are hearing from a lot of our customers how they really have to change and adapt really quickly. The shift to digital has become a bit of an imperative, really. And as the crisis continues, sadly, it is really evident now that the digital world is here to stay. It's not going to go away. So businesses of all sizes really need to think about how they can adapt. So here at Salesforce, we have built our Salesforce Customer 360 platform to help businesses do exactly this. So become more digital, become more customer-centric, and really be more resilient through times like these. So Customer 360 essentially is an integrated CRM platform that really helps build that 360-degree view of your customers across all of those different customer touch points across your business, and really helps your employees throughout your business, different departments, to work seamlessly together to really deliver those personalized first-class customer experiences to your customers that they are nowadays expecting. And all of this is underpinned by advanced digital capabilities like AI, automation, analytics as well, that really help elevate those customer experiences to the next level. And you can benefit from this all really quickly. It has really fast time to value. It is scalable, flexible, so it changes with your business needs, and you can tailor it based on your particular requirements as well. So let's now hear from our experts. I would like to now bring in Lars and Chet. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, great to be here.
So first of all, could you just introduce yourselves briefly, give us a little bit about your background and your role?
So my name is Lars Klumpes. I am the Sales and Marketing Director at NextView. NextView is a platinum Salesforce partner in the Netherlands. And we differentiate ourselves in the market by making sure that the implementations that we do, we use a design-led approach, which essentially means that we look at from a customer perspective, think about customer journey, service blueprints.
Thanks, Lars. So my name is Chet Chowan. I'm VP Product Management here at Salesforce. I'm actually based in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, been based here for the last 5 years. But been at Salesforce now 14 years. The first 10 of that was building our Service Cloud product, spent some time building also our Commerce Cloud product, our Sales Cloud product, and our Community Cloud product. So I can talk to a few of those. Prior to that, I was at Siebel as well. So been in the space in CRM for more than 20 years.
Great, thank you. So both of you obviously work closely with our customers. So can you tell us a little bit about what does Customer 360 actually mean for our customers? And perhaps Chet, you can start off with this.
Customer 360 is really about putting the customer at the center of your business, right? And if you think about that, that's what all of us are trying to do in a business. We're trying to market, sell or service our customers. And it's really creating that single source of truth for your customers that's really essential. But also, a lot of our customers don't necessarily start with all the pieces, right? They may start with Sales Cloud first, and then Service Cloud. So you can pick up each of these pieces depending on what your priority is. Lars, do you want to give you obviously work with a lot of companies as well, especially implementing a lot of these solutions. Would love to get your take on this as well.
So for us, Customer 360 means the true ability to be customer-centric. All too often what we see is that customer information is stored across different silos within the company, and it doesn't help creating that 360-degree view of the customer. And if you do it right, the results can be really encouraging. For instance, a salesperson who's about to go on a sales call stands in front of the customer, looks at the Salesforce app, the mobile app, and sees that a complaint has just been lodged. Not only he can see that the complaint has been lodged, but also all the steps that have been taken already by the service department to get to a fix. Now, if that salesperson goes into the meeting, addresses the issue straight away, and also can share, which steps have been taken already, that's a very powerful customer experience. And very often, if you see in a siloed environment, you cannot do that. So that, to me, that kind of stuff, that's Customer 360.
Great, thank you. That all makes perfect sense. But let's dive a bit deeper now and let's look at what does it actually mean in practice for the different departments in the customer's business in particular. And let's start with CRM. Arguably, Salesforce is obviously best known for CRM. So how can our CRM capabilities really help customers? Chet, do you want to start with that?
Sure. Yeah. So this is exactly where we started. We started our first product at Salesforce 20 years ago was Sales Cloud. Then I was involved in building our Service Cloud. That's really, when you think about CRM, is the core, right? Maybe I'll share a customer story which really brings this to life. So many of you probably heard of Maersk. So Maersk is the leading shipping company in the world today, right? And shipping, it's a traditional business, right? But they realized even 10 years ago that they needed to transform, their business and really started this digital transformation. And the first part of it is they wanted to make sure that they brought their customer service and sales departments together, right? And to Lars' point, so they deployed Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. And one of the immediate benefit of that was this ability to get the 360-degree view of their customer. So the salespeople, right, were able to see in real time what the issues were with shipments. Like, for example, if shipments were delayed or the issues with shipping, that they could then, as they're interacting with their key accounts, could address and also share, the updates with customers. But also by deploying Service Cloud in their service department, they saw a lot of efficiencies. They saw 20% improvement and reduction of cases. So it was really beneficial, and they're doing a lot more things. I think we're going to see some really exciting things in terms of new channels and new automation capabilities from Maersk. Lars, what about you? I'd love to get your perspective as well.
Yeah, so at Next, we'd like to look at CRM from a customer perspective. It's all about customer centricity. And CRM is not a technology to simply facilitate a sales process. Every now and then we come across clients who've done it and tried it that way, and that doesn't work. It is so if we do an implementation, we always look at how is your customer buying actually, because in the end it's not about how you sell. It is about being connected to how your customers buy. And if you combine that and that knowledge and use that in your processes and put that into Salesforce, then you're really making a step as a company towards customer centricity.
Great, thank you. So we kicked off this session talking about the digital imperative and how this is now really changing the world. So what does this mean in practice from your experience, and how can Customer 360 help our customers here?
What we are seeing is, in both B2C and B2B, things are changing. Marketing, sales, and service are converging into one. We've got a great example of a digital transformation at one of our clients, Swiss Sense. They are a sleeping specialist, a company that sells beds. Their tagline is for everybody. And they have over 100 stores across the Netherlands and Belgium and Germany. And they differentiate themselves by really focusing on the customer journey. And that means that their salespeople in store can see the order history of the customer, can see which marketing emails the customer has liked, but also that the chauffeur that is delivering the bed can actually do an upsell on linen, etc., right there at the customer, all through Salesforce. And that is a really powerful way and a real true digital transformation in the way they work. It's a great example of the impact of that.
Great, some fantastic examples there. What about the employees then? So of course we all have been through an unprecedented time with COVID-19 and working from home, etc. So how can Customer 360 help the employees?
We've been engaged in building employee apps for a while, but with COVID, like you mentioned, this really came to the forefront, right? We, at Salesforce, all our employees, moved to working from home, and we realized we needed a way to bring them all back, right? And this was the genesis of a new capability called work.com, which allows you to basically manage that whole process and bring your employees back to the office in a safe way. And Deloitte here in the Netherlands, they're using this, for example, in their office at the Edge building in Amsterdam, to bring their employees back.
In the last couple of months, we've seen some interesting examples actually of clients who were really happy that they moved to the Salesforce platform because it allowed them to work from home and still get everything done. Think about service agents working on Service Cloud. And that really helps, right? But also, I think the flexibility of Salesforce helps in this perspective. We've had extra checks, that field service workers needed to do. Getting to a site, making sure that they're safe, making sure that the party that they do the service for also ticks all the boxes from a safety perspective. So we've been involved in a whole range of things around that. Yeah.
Great. Thank you both. So this is all great stuff. I could really see how this will help our customers be more customer centric, be digital first. But how does it all come together? And what role does data play in all this? And Lars, maybe you can take this one.
Yeah, sure. So what we are seeing is that clients are looking at data more and more. There's a lot of data already at hand, but really using that data to get to actionable insights is really something else. And the good thing is with Salesforce Einstein, MuleSoft combining other data sources, that's a really powerful play, to be honest. We've got a great example of Canon Medical System, one of our clients. They're in the business of high-end medical equipment, CT scans, X-rays, etc. And what they wanted to do is make their sales process more data-driven. So they combined market data, information from their service department, sales information, to really get to actionable insights. And that is a very, very powerful way of using data. And in the daily life, it makes the salespeople's lives a whole lot easier.
Great, thank you. And Chet, what are your thoughts?
Sure, yeah, maybe I'll talk about this in the lens of a customer, probably a customer that most of Ahold is one of the biggest retailing companies in the world, but they have brands that like Albert Heijn, bol.com, Ethos, gaan. And maybe I'll start with bol.com, right? Bol.com is their online marketplace. And one of the challenges they had was they have all this data, right, across the business. And they wanted to empower all the business folks to get that data and then make decisions. So they rolled out Tableau, which is a analytics capability that is also from Salesforce. And they were able to hook into all the inventory systems, all the shipping information, and bring that in 250 different sources very quickly. And then all the users were able to use that to drive the business. So that was a great story about unlocking data. And then also, when you look at bringing in data, it's also about not only analyzing the data, but bringing the data into a business process, right? And what you need to do there is really expose all these services that you have in your organization with APIs so you can build new capabilities. And a great example within Ahold is the Albert Heijn, supermarket chain. And so that the IT team there leverages MuleSoft to put APIs on a lot of these services, which then allows them to create new capabilities. Like, for example, they're trialing a new capability where a customer can do a self-checkout, right? Pick something from a fridge and then pay for it themselves without even going to the cashier. So all these capabilities are really only possible if you have these APIs for developers to innovate.
So what advice would you give to businesses who are interested in embarking on this journey with Customer 360? How to best get started? And Lars, perhaps you can start off with this one again.
Yeah, as you can imagine, as an implementation partner, we get this question a lot. So I'd say, hey, reach out. We'd love to work with you. What we always say is think big and start small. So if you're new to Customer 360 or the whole principle, it's really good to think big. So what we do is work on a service blueprint, which is a customer journey, also outlining the user journey, and create a roadmap from there. And we've actually developed a methodology in which we can do this really quickly. And that really helps. It's really good. Like I said in the beginning, it's not about how you sell, it's about understanding how your customers buy. And if, from there, across all the channels, it's a really powerful piece. So yeah, by all means, reach out to us and we'd love to work with you.
And Chet, what about you? What are your thoughts on this?
The first thing is you really want to put your customer at the center first, right? And this, think about the organization as well. A lot of companies have siloed businesses, with the same customer, with products in each industry, which each of those businesses, they're not sharing information, they can't do cross-sell. So it really starts with, okay, put the customer at the center, organize, your business and your processes around the customer, right? And then once you do that, then you really need to look at how do you have an agile platform that can really orchestrate those processes. And that's where a lot of times, companies choose 360 because it allows you to orchestrate that customer journey very, very easily, right? So it allows you to get up and running really quickly, but also you can scale with it. You're able to integrate all these different data sources to create a single source of truth. And to Lars' point, create this big vision, right? But then start small, start with things that are going to deliver immediate value and then build a roadmap to get to where you need to go.
Fantastic. Thank you both so much for these amazing insights. It's been super valuable. That's all we have time for today, but we've got a couple of great assets here for you if you're interested in finding out more. So we have a really great blog that explains what Customer 360 is. And then we also have this tool that's with a few clicks, you can actually create a Customer 360 for yourself and see what it could look like for your business. So with that, we will close the session today. Thank you so much again for joining. We really hope you found it valuable and have a great rest of the day.